You can have and create anything that you want to come into your life. And I'm making this video to tell you this because I know it to be true. You're watching this video and there may be things in your world that you don't have that you want. I'm here to tell you that you can have each and every one of those things. And the only reason you don't have them right now is because you believe that your world is a solid reality. And your analytical mind and your inner dialogue and your inner talking are telling you that because it's trained that way. You have to change your inner dialogues. Change what you consent to believe as true of your world. And that is that it is not real. It's a simulation, and you can change it at any time. At any time. Right now, say it. Every time you say this, you are actually peeling another layer off, changing your beliefs, changing what you consent to believe of true of your world right now. I'm living in a simulation. My world is not a solid reality. Say it. The world that I'm living in is not a solid reality. This changes your inner dialogue. Your outer dialogue really means nothing if it doesn't change your inner dialogue. Your inner dialogue is always chattering. It's always going. It cannot stop. But what is it saying? What is it doing? That's what controls your reality based on your concept of yourself. Like Neville Goddard went over. And that's why when you assume something that you don't have yet as if you do have it and you feel that you are that person, it changes the inner dialogue. And then all of a sudden, when you go to sleep at night, you are this new version of yourself. The subconscious mind feels that and it transfers you and it mirrors that world to you. It transfers you to that parallel reality, just like this one. Almost everything will be exactly the same, but you'll be the person that has everything that you desire. It may take a little bit of time, but start now. Start right now, because I'm telling you what, it's absolutely worth it to start, because your world isn't going to change dramatically unless you change who you are and unless you change these facts, your inner dialogues. The inner dialogues are controlling and keeping you limited right now. So I want you to change this about yourself. You are living in a simulation. You can have whatever you want in your life. There's nothing that you can't have. This is what your inner dialogue should be doing. This is what I want. This is why I'm telling you this, is because this is what your inner dialogue needs to be doing. I am limitless. I can have whatever I want. I'm living in a simulation. My world is not a solid reality. When you can train your inner dialogues to do this, that's what happens. All of a sudden, like when I was at an outdoor mall once and I saw this car that I absolutely loved. Same color, everything. And I was like, I want to have that car. I had that car within a week. It all of a sudden appeared in my world and somebody's trying to sell it to me for like way less than what it's worth. Cheap. Same color, same model, same year, everything. And I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, I love that car. And I was with a bunch of friends and I said it all to them. I'm going to get that car. By the end of the week I had it. I didn't even search for it. It just popped up on the internet on my PC when I was like, there it is. And then I'm like, okay, where is it? And it was literally like I had to drive 3.5 minutes from my house to go pick it up. The point why I'm saying that is because when you start changing your inner dialogues to believe that to the truth that you're living in a simulation, your world's not a solid reality, things just happen magically. Like the strangest things will start happening to you and you'll start seeing all the glitches more and more as you go. And as you start seeing more glitches, you start to believe even more than you did before that you're living in a simulation, because these things just don't make sense. The things that happen to me in my life are so magical and just, there's no possible way that they are just, it's coincidence. It's impossible. It's like you hear that woodpecker? That woodpecker in the background. Well, I just wanted to make this video. You can have anything that you want. And I just really wanted to share it because I truly believe that for you. I know that to be true for you, that you can manifest, anyone watching this video right now, you can truly manifest anything that you want. And the key to that is changing your inner dialogue. And changing your inner dialogue to be telling you that you're living in a simulation, that you're limitless, that you can have anything, that you're worth it, yet you deserve this. You are a good person. That's why I go over to the fact that you need to become the version of yourself that you admire and give that person to the world, because you're living in a simulation. And when you can just play pretend and act as if you are already this person that you admire, and you're giving that person to the world as you're going to sleep at night, and you are that version, not necessarily just giving that person to the world, but that you are that person that you admire when you fall asleep. And then the simulation has to emulate that, has to mirror that world back to you. And the more that you can feel that to be true, the closer you will be to the naturalness of having it. And then that's really the secret. And you can actually skip way ahead of everyone else. This is like this is one of the biggest hacks, magical hacks that you can do to create success or whatever you're trying to create or manifest into your world, is by knowing that you're living in a simulation. And as you keep affirming that and going over information about that and listening to the daytime meditations, I have the sleep meditations on the simulation stuff, that stuff you'll be light years ahead of everyone else, because no one can beat you. No one can beat you if you never miss, and you're constantly working on yourself as you're going to sleep at night, and you're becoming the version of yourself that you admire, and you know that you're living in a simulation. Literally, you're going to 10, 20x everyone else that's not doing this, that's working 10 times harder than you. You're going to go leaps and bounds past them, all right? And when I was started my YouTube channel, I started posting 2.5 years ago. And I was just passing other people by that have been doing it for 10 years. And they asked me, how are you doing that? How are you doing that? I'm just being who I am. I'm just doing the best that I can in my concept of myself. And I know that I'm living in a simulation, and I don't have to judge myself from other people. I don't have to say, well, this guy couldn't do it. This person couldn't create their YouTube channel when they got out of prison this quickly. That had no bearing on my thinking process whatsoever. It didn't matter what anyone else did before me. It didn't matter. It's a simulation. It's not even real. It's all being created from within me. If there's any limitations, it's all within me. So I want you to keep covering these topics. Know that you're living in a simulation. Know that your world isn't a solid reality, and get this down into your core. Cover this over and over and over and over and over again. And know that you are a limitless being. You can have anything that you want, and it's all in your hands. And that's probably the key. It's all in your hands. Change your inner dialogues, change your states of consciousness, shift your concept of self to be the person that you admire, that has everything that you desire already. And then allow the simulation to do the work. Allow it to emulate who you are. And it has to, because everything is coming from within you. It's like you're a projector and the world is the projection. It's like if you go to a movie theater, you go to sit and watch a movie, there's a projector behind you projecting on to the screen in front of you. But if that projector's not there, there's no screen, there's no movie. All right, you remove the projector, there's no projection. And if you change the movie reels, a new movie's played. But if you're watching the movie, you don't know all this stuff. You have no idea how movies are made, and that the projections, you would think that was real, even though it's two-dimensional. You would think that it was real unless somebody told you. I'm here to tell you that you're living in a simulation, and it's being projected from inside of you out. I love you all. Stay tuned for the next one. I love you, and message me on Instagram. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.